everyone, in today's video I am sharing our trip to the Harry Potter studio tour. We had the most amazing time, so I'm going to share a little bit about what we did and then some top tips. So if you prefer to scroll on to those, then I will leave some timestamps in the description box. So our tour had been a long time coming. We booked it ages ago with a gift ticket before COVID. So we were so excited to go. We were booked into an 11 o'clock slot at the tour. You needed to be there 20 minutes before. So just remember that with your traveling, whether you're going by car, which absolutely, is fine. There was tons of parking, no problem. But we were traveling on the tube from central London. So we needed, from where we were staying, we needed to leave about an hour to get there. And actually there'd been some delays on that line. So we needed to allow for that. And then when you get to the station, and it's Watford Junction Station, which is outside London, like I say, it's about an hour outside of London, then for us, what we needed to do was get a shuttle bus to the tour from the station. Now, when you come out of the train station, it is on the left-hand side. You just follow the signs to the shuttle bus. And there was a member of staff there from the studio tour who checked our tickets before we got on. So when we get to the tour, you have your tickets scanned again at the entrance. There's a couple of photo opportunities at the front. It does look amazing. And as you're coming up to the tour, it's just, all the kids are going, oh, it's amazing. But from the bus, I've got to say that the bus is so heavily decorated on the sides. It looks amazing, but you can't really see out. So if you can, try and get to the top or at the front, or near the front, so that you can get a really nice view as you're headed towards the tour. But when you park up and they let you off the bus, then there's some photo opportunities and you have your ticket scanned before you go in, and that was it. They're not scanned again. So you can just have your tickets on your phone, but I also had a paper copy in case something had happened. And so we went into the lobby part, and actually that is where you collect your Harry Potter passport, which I would recommend. Emily loved it because you could go round and get little stamps on your passport, and that was great. She enjoyed that. So you collect that there, and also you can collect an audio guide. Then you go into a really big hall where you wait for your tour, and it's amazing. It's amazing as you walk in. There's a coffee shop there, there's some toilets in the lobby, everything you need. There's a food court. You could go in it first or sort of after your tour. You wouldn't sort of leave halfway through your tour to go to the food court, I don't think. And it was expensive, but we did go in there for coffee. The children had chocolate frog hot chocolates from there before we went in, and they really enjoyed that. So it's just an extra sort of nice thing that we did. And then we waited for our tour. Now, I'm not going to ruin it because it is, the first part of the tour is really amazing, magical. After that bit, the first set that you go into, the Great Hall, which is amazing, that is the only part where you're ushered through. And I think we were only in there for about 5 minutes, and we were told to go through because they were letting the next lot in. And that was fine. There were a few bits to see, and then you went through, and after that you were absolutely at your own pace. No one was rushing you on, no one at all. So you could take your time, read as much or as little as you wanted. But yeah, just in the Great Hall, they push you on to the next bit. So all of the room sets, everything that you see, there's tons of information that you can look at. And we totally loved it because seeing it, the detail, the information that you could read about, makeup and costumes was fantastic. I mean, one of our favourite room sets was probably the potion room. That was absolutely brilliant and stunning. And also the burrow where things were moving and things like that. It was really interactive and it was really, really good. I really enjoyed that. There were opportunities to do extra things like the green screen broom ride. We did that, Emily did that, and she had a really fantastic time. And as you went on through, there were things like the creature workshop, again, really fantastic, really interesting, where you learned about how they did the, you know, the makeup for the goblins and that kind of thing. That was really, really good. And there was also on the back lot, which was sort of about halfway or maybe more, maybe about 2/3 through the tour, there was the night bus and Privet Drive. There was like the Ford Anglia, and you could have a photo done in there. And there was sort of Hagrid's motorbike, you could get, and everything. So there were lots of little opportunities sort of to do things as you went through. So moving on to my top tips. So number one is food. The food was very expensive. And when you got to the back lot, as I said, it's about more than halfway through the tour, I think. There's sort of cafe as you go in, lots of seating, not enough seating in my view, but there were really long queues, and to be honest, the food didn't look great. And the queues, if you wanted butterbeer, that was where you had to queue. We didn't. And actually, if you go into the back lot, the outside area, there was a caravan hut where you could get a cup of tea, coffee, there was some pre-made baguettes and cakes and things like that. And I did buy coffee, but I would recommend taking your own food. Take a picnic, you can sit down at the table, any of the tables, and have a picnic. There was so much wasted food on the tables that we saw, and it looked like it was all just burgers and chips and stuff. And I just thought, no, this silly waste of money. I would definitely take things that snacks and lots of drinks for kids as you're going round. Another top tip is around the butterbeer. So like I said, you had to queue for the butterbeer, and people were coming out with loads of sort of little tankards of butterbeer, and they were all being left on the table. People didn't seem to like it. Now, I've tried it before and I don't like it. I find it really sickly. In fact, there's something about it that I consider really gross. And so what I would recommend is you just get one glass of butterbeer if you really want to taste it, and see if you like it, and share it around. They had like a trough area near the caravan where people were tipping out their butterbeer, because you could, like, I think you could keep the tankard or something, but I just thought, what a waste. It was, I don't know, it was about, I think it was £7 for a glass of butterbeer, and it was such a waste. So I wouldn't recommend that. Some people were buying butterbeer ice cream, which kind of looked a bit more palatable, but people were still leaving that. I don't know how nice it was, but like I said, we didn't do that. Next tip is to wear comfy clothes and really comfy shoes. There's an awful lot of walking to do. It's really warm in there, so if you're coming on the tube and then you're going on the shuttle bus and you're going into your tour, I don't really think you need a coat, to be honest, because it was hot, and if it's just another thing to carry, a hoodie would probably be completely fine. But yeah, definitely you need to be comfortable. Have a rucksack on your back that's comfortable with your things and with your picnic in, because it's a long day, there's a lot of walking. Definitely recommend the Harry Potter passport to go and get that stamped as you go round. And I would recommend the audio guide. I do think you need to be a little bit older. If you're really, really tiny, I'm not sure that the tiny ones are really managing it. I saw quite a few parents getting a bit exasperated with it. So I think, yeah, I think if your child's a little bit older, then that's fine. I think I did also see a couple of parents having them in, and then the kids had them and then they lost their children because they're too busy listening and not their kids. So it's just something to bear in mind about whether you all have it at the same time, because you can suddenly just lose your child. But hey. I would recommend dressing up. Emily got dressed up in her Harry Potter robes. She had a wand and her scarf, and of course with her hair and everything she was a bit like Hermione, and that was great. Loads of people dressed up, including adults, and actually I think it was great fun to get into it. Yeah, I definitely recommend getting dressed up. Take a power bank. You will take tons of photographs on your mobile phone and video and things like that, so definitely take a power bank so that you don't run out of charge. I would recommend doing the broom ride, the green screen broom ride, which was brilliant fun, and obviously if kids are dressed up it looks even better. It was really good to do. There was a queue, it was about a 45-minute queue to get to the front and have that done at the time that we were there. And then afterwards you are given a little card so that you can go and collect another card which has your QR code so that you can download your film. There's a place that you can pick that up right next to the green screen area, but we were told that we could collect that at other points later in the tour, and I'm glad we did. So my top tip would actually be don't collect it from there. The queues were ridiculous. We waited until later on and we collected, I collected it just before the wand room and didn't have to wait at all, paid, and then we went through. There's some brilliant interactive areas that you can go into. So in one of the rooms where the Ministry of Magic is, they had the Privet Drive letterbox set up. That was really good. There was also the invisibility cloak and a place where you could have like wand duels and things like that. And these things are happening about every 10 minutes, so you need to hang about in that room and definitely see those things, those interactive things that were going on. They were really good actually, really good explanations and gave you more insight, and actually that was also good things to keep, you know, kids amused as they went along. I would recommend speaking to the staff as you go through. We did speak to quite a few people who you say things like, can you tell me more about this? Or could you tell me a secret about this? This is something that other people might not have seen in this room. And it's quite interesting, some of the insights that you get. Definitely do that because I just found that really, really interesting. And actually you can see the passion and how much people actually really love Harry Potter. So that was lovely to see and definitely worth doing. Gift shop. Gift shop. Really, really expensive. There was a gift shop by Hogwarts train, which was mainly platform 9 3/4 stuff. Some of that I didn't see in the gift shop at the end. So if you're mad on that, you might want to pick it up there. It is expensive and I would recommend having a budget. The kids both wanted a chocolate frog. I think they both spent about £20 in the gift shop, and that was about our limit. Ones were £32, which I thought was crazy. I mean, they look beautiful, but they're gonna go in a drawer, right? So it was very, very expensive. I think you could, before you go, perhaps make up a little Harry Potter gift bag and put some little bits in, like, you know, you can get a little wand or a t-shirt or a, you know, bookmark or something like that elsewhere, and perhaps present that, you know, at the end if you wanted to save some money, because it really was super, super expensive, but it was all quite enjoyable, and actually the kids wanted like souvenirs to take away. They both bought, no, not both of them, Emily bought Bertie Bott's beans and they were disgusting. So I would perhaps recommend, because you can get packets of jelly beans for like £1 in Lidl, so perhaps think about bringing some of those with you. So just to wrap up, we had a fantastic time on the Harry Potter Studio Tour. I would definitely recommend it, and I hope that this has helped you if you are planning to go. If you're new to my channel, then don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!